People would always go like, "Oh, I'm so afraid to burn my bridge with Vince," and they go like, if you do, you probably have a better shot of going back than if you don't, because that's how Vince operates.
Do you think it's a control thing, or do you think
it's a challenge? I think it's a challenge. If you knock him,
I
he's
can
going to
agree
want
with
to
that.
prove at the end that you'll come back to him.
I can agree with that.
I don't think my
almost
personal
like an
feelings
abusive
have ever
relationship.
gotten in the way of doing good business.
Well, there's one thing I've learned from the Montreal screw job. It's nothing sweeter than a good double cross.
I'm in business. And business comes first.
Plus Brad who came up.
From a general public standpoint, I think the hottest period they ever had would have been 98 to 2002, when they were from WCW and then killing WCW. And then after that, after WCW went down, the whole business went down. During the periods with no competition, wrestling's a lot less interesting. And as far as the creative end, they fell from their peak.
At that time, riding the lightning bolt, I'm on fire, but I was frustrated with the creative process.
There were some times when Seafood.
This is toward the end with Stone Cold Steve Austin decided he had pretty much had enough of the wrestling business. This is how they ended him. He decided that he didn't want to do it no more, as he will explain here. But also, to Dave Meltzer's point, how wrestling is a little bit more exciting when they do have competition. Now, I don't know if it's really competition, but AEW is at least an alternative product that you can watch. They have wrestling stars as well from around the world. They have big names. I still think the WWE product is better, but at least it's something else to watch and other places for guys to work. So, it's not just the monopoly of WWE. Wrestling was really good when you had all kinds of options. Like when I was small, I'm from Detroit, so I would get some world-class championship wrestling, a little bit of international championship wrestling. We could get the NWA, and the AWA. So I had a few things I could watch, and then those things started to go away, and we still had the USWA and ECW. Not really competition events except for WCW, which comes on later, but at least you had something else to watch. And these guys had other places where they could go perform and make at least close to the same amount of money or even more that they would make here in the WWE working for Vince. Unless they would have to go overseas and wrestle in Japan and make some good bread.
Idea, and he would go, I never say this. I don't like it. I don't like to create it.
Steve, lay it all on the line here. Give us the bottom line.
Bottom line is everything sucks. I'm not happy with the direction Stone Cold Steve Austin's going. I ain't happy with the direction Stone Company's going. Things are not good at that point for Vince and I, but also I had a lot of injuries. I decided I've had about enough. Probably be in the best of my interest to ride off into the sunset.
He was a huge star, and he's gone.
It's a very malleable product, the WWE. Stars leave all the time. Someone like The Rock, because he took off in the movies. The Rock, him and Austin were probably 1 and 1A as far as being the top names in the company. Both of them were gone by 2004, and so now it's time to make new stars. So there was an infamous promo where
This
Vince
is
was
already
addressing the
proven he
Raw
can do
roster.
it.
More than any one quality that makes me the successful man that I am, I would have to say that one quality is...
And he's a ruthless aggression.
Ruthless aggression. He gave a speech to the entire
cast of performers would be like, guys, we are searching. This is the time. I need someone with ruthless aggression.
You have enough ruthless aggression to make the necessary sacrifices.
I'm looking for someone who's gonna like, okay, I'm the fucking guy.
You want to become a superstar.
At that time, I was, new and up and coming talent, so wasn't there for the on-camera speech. But like 3 days after that, I was just at a television taping where The Undertaker couldn't make it.
Come on, guys, there's got to be somebody back there that wants to seize the moment.
I needed somebody. And one person in the production meeting was like, how about John Cena? And that's how I got my first televised match.
John Cena, we heard a little bit about him.
It was against Kurt Angle, a marquee performer in the WWE.
What is the one quality that you possess that makes you think that you can walk out here and come into the ring and face the very best in the business?
John Cena basically says, why am I gonna beat you? Because of ruthless aggression.
So
And then he hauls off on Kurt Angle. John Cena is proof that Vince can just make stars. Not that he isn't talented, because he is. But you lose Stone Cold, you lose The Rock. What now? What now? You lose Hulk Hogan. What now? And he continued to answer the questions. He gave the pep speech. I'm looking for somebody. And John Cena pretty much took the ball and started to run.
that kind of spawned the next few years or so and became, after the fact, known as the Ruthless Aggression era.
This was an era that was coming off of Virginia and then transitioning to an era of more realism. They were showcasing guys' ability, guys like Eddie Guerrero, guys like Kurt Angle. They were using people's real names. Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Chris Benoit, Batista. It was a phase of realism. So I had to be John Cena. I really didn't know who I was. And I didn't have personality. I just kept being this guy. It was just uninteresting. Like I almost got fired for being that bad.
Frustration by John Cena.
But when you kind of knew you were running way out, I really wanted to have a little more fun. Some of the guys just happened to be rapping on the back of the tour bus. And I kind of got up in my seat and made my way to the back. And for 5 minutes, I shredded everybody. I didn't realize that Stephanie McMahon was on the bus. And she was like, "Would you like to do that on TV?" I said, "Fuck yes, I would."
Besides open mic, one thing that gets me boiled is an old school 30-man battle royal. I'ma win this. I'ma make my impression. No Vinnie Mac that I got ruthless aggression.
John had the ability to rap. Bingo. Instead of being someone that you might want to cut, from the roster, is like, ooh, hang on. This is different. This is very different.
John Cena, the Doctor of Thugger.
Sometimes in life it's about finding your niche. And sometimes it takes a while to do that. He could rap. He already had that skill. So they used it. And it helped to get him over.
I did it so well. All of a sudden he was a new star. And the audience loved it.
And the new WWE Champion, John Cena.
When you become popular and the audience understands you and reacts to you, that's when you begin to garner Vince's attention.
You myself, you come out here, you say what's on your mind, you don't give a damn about anybody else, do you?
That's when our relationship really began to pick up. Vince taught me a ton about the business and how to perform. As the rap persona, I took so many things that I saw and didn't like and crafted them into this character. It's the same thing Vince did with Mr. McMahon.
In terms of getting heat with my character, Mr. McMahon, one of my problems and one of my assets in life is when I think about doing something, I go try it.
Stan, listen be the name of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Damn!
Was there ever a point during that time where you got
Push
the
the key
script
into
or
the
something,
watch.
or just like, this is too far?
Yeah. They screwed your brains out. And then Vince would make me do it anyway.
There was a bit of a concern amongst performers that if you didn't do what you were asked, that you would get punished. And yeah, it did happen to some on occasion, sometimes. There was one time where I was the champion at the time, and then suddenly I was in a scene where I was going to be making out with a female, which I didn't think my character wanted to do. Was it a coincidence that I lost the championship the next week? Maybe. Maybe I got punished. I'm not sure.
You said there were a few times that you said no. Do you remember some of the things you said no to?
Yes. Yeah, there were a couple, but yeah, I'm not gonna tell the one.
So one of my storyline ideas was that Stephanie gets pregnant, and I think I was the one who impregnated her. My character. I think it was something like that. It was like, no, that one didn't make it.
Weird ass storyline. Disgusting storyline. But it will get a reaction, and people might actually watch that weird degenerate shit. Oof. Wow.
Mr. McMahon, the character Vince McMahon, the boss of WWE, and her father. It's hard to separate.
I call him Vince in business, and I call him Dad at home. My father is different than my boss. My boss can be tougher than my dad. He expects results. He demands results, especially from his family.
Vince, he didn't want to do total nepotism. It wouldn't reflect good on Vince. It wouldn't reflect good on Shane and Stephanie.